Good evening, students. What we are going to learn today as a new topic is ADR and GDR. First, let us start with the GDR. GDR is Global Depository Receipt. Extremely easy to understand, try to concentrate. There is one person, Mr. Jack, who is staying in London. Mr. Jack want to purchase shares of Reliance. Now Reliance is listed in BSE NSE, which is in India. So the question arises whether Mr. Jack can directly purchase this shares of Reliance. The answer is no. Is it alright? Foreign direct investment is something else. Mr. Jack cannot directly purchase shares of Reliance. Who is at loss? Both the parties is at loss. Reliance will be limited only to Indian investor, and Mr. Jack, whose intention is to invest in Reliance Limited, will not be able to invest in Reliance Limited. Is it alright? So both parties is at loss. GDR is the solution. See what Reliance will do. First, there should be intention of Reliance. To issue its shares in global market, that is a market other than India. Reliance can directly borrow money from Indian market, that is alright. But the intention is to borrow from global market. What Reliance will do, try to concentrate. Say today's Reliance price, market price per share is say 2000 rupees. That's correct. What Reliance will do? It will create an GDR or DR, depository receipt. It will say 2 shares, let me take 3. 3 shares is equal to 1 this document, that is a depository receipt. Is it alright? So the shares are converted into other document. How it is converted, that also understand. And say this is to be issued in London market. That is in UK. Then there will be a bank in London which will be termed as depository bank. That's alright. Now try to understand, are this shares created as a depository receipt by Reliance? The answer is no. Reliance will give, let me create only one depository receipt, and then you will understand how multiple depository receipt can be created. Sorry. What was decided? 2 shares is equal to 1 depository receipt. Then these 2 shares will be given to depository bank in London. Now who is holding these 2 shares? 1 and 2. Alright. Depository, so the bank name is depository bank. The shares are deposited into this particular bank. Depository bank, as they are having 2 shares of Reliance, based upon ownership of this 2 shares of Reliance, it will create one more document which is a depository receipt. Is that all right? Mr. Jack was staying in London. So let me not at discount or premium. This depository receipt to Mr. Jack is available. Market price of this depository receipt is per depository receipt is rupees 4,000. Mr. Jack will purchase this depository receipt, will pay this 4,000 rupees to depository bank. What Mr. Jack will be holding? A depository receipt or of Reliance, where one depository receipt is equal to 2 shares of Reliance. He is not actually holding Reliance shares. He is holding depository receipt of Reliance. Is it alright? And the problem is rupees is not a good currency as far as London is concerned. So normally this is denominated in terms of US dollar. Can Jack purchase in US dollar? The answer is yes. Can Jack purchase in pound? Let me issue it in pound. Normally it is issued in US dollar, but it may be issued in even pound. Sorry. Let me write down in dollar itself. Is it all right? US dollar. Is it all right? What is the current rate of US dollar? Say US dollar is 80 rupees. Spot rate is rupees 80 per dollar. What is the rate at which this depository receipt will be available? 4,000 divided by 80. Is it all right? That is, it is available at $50. Is it all right? Mr. Jack will be paying $50 to depository bank. Depository bank will be issuing one depository receipt to Mr. Jack. One depository receipt of Reliance is equal to 2 shares of Reliance. He is indirectly becoming owner of the Reliance. Depository bank, where the shares came from, Reliance has given this share to depository bank. Is it all? The money which is coming to depository bank, now depository bank will be giving it to Reliance. That is $50 or rupees 4,000. If you will see, indirectly the shares of Reliance are sold in London market, even in terms of dollars, but they are sold in London market. Is it all right? The same company can issue its shares in Japan also, can issue its shares in China also in terms of US dollar. The rules and regulations of the host country, that is depository bank's country, should permit to issue your deposit receipt, that is your country's depository receipt. As this depository receipt is issued other than in USA, this depository receipts are termed as global depository receipt. That's correct. If they are issued in other countries other than USA. This is global depository receipt. Now try to understand. Mr. Jack is owner of 2 Reliance. Whenever Reliance pays dividend, where dividend will go, I'll tell you. Dividend will travel from year to year, from year to year. Is it all right? Sometimes dividend will be directly given to even Mr. Jack. The mediator is not required in paying the dividend. Is it all right? Because now Reliance will be knowing that he is owner of 2 shares of Reliance. But he will not be practically holding 2 shares of Reliance. Number 2, voting power will not be given to Mr. Jack. Because he is not owner of 2 shares of Reliance, he is indirectly owner of 2 shares of Reliance, that is of depository receipt. Is it all right? This is how one company in a country can issue its shares in global market through depository receipts, and so only these are known as global depository receipts. In theory also sometimes you will come across ADR, American Depository Receipt. What is American Depository Receipt? Try to understand. If Mr. Jack instead of London was staying in USA and this shares was indirectly issued in USA, this automatically becomes American Depository Receipts. Alright, if the shares are issued in USA, of course again it will be in US dollar. Alright, so these are the points which you need to understand. What is the difference between GDR, ADR? GDR is a depository receipt issued anywhere in the world other than America, that is USA. And American Depository Receipt is depository receipts other than American company who is issuing shares in America indirectly through depository receipt is known as American Depository Receipt. Alright, GDR and ADR should be understood. We'll be going to one question of GDR and ADR. It is of GDR. It is 3.6.1. Omega Limited is interested in expanding its operations and planning to install a manufacturing plant at US. For the proposed project, it requires a fund of $10 million net of issue expenses or flotation cost. Try to understand the question. Sometimes Reliance does not want rupees. It wants a fund in US dollar. Because they are installing a manufacturing plant in USA, they don't need rupees, they need dollars. But they are a company situated in India, they can borrow in rupees. What they'll do, they'll issue depository receipt and they will borrow dollars from international market. Proposed project, it requires a 10 million net of issue expenses. What is required is $10 million. It is 1 crore. Expenses or net of issue expenses or flotation cost. So to issue GDR, you'll have to hire a depository bank, you'll have to hire the brokers who will be selling your DRs. There are n numbers of other related expenses for issue of GDR, and that expenses comes to 2%. Your requirement is 10 million net of expenditure. So if you borrow 10 million, 2% will be your expenditure and you will not be getting 10 million. So how much you should borrow? Can anyone help me out? How much you should borrow if you want net 10 million?
10 million divided by 98%.
10 million divided by 98%. Let me do it. 10 divided by 98%. It is a 10.2040. 10.2040 million dollar should be borrowed, and 2% of this will be expenditure. Let me find out 2% of this and verify whether Sachin is correct or not. 10.2040 multiplied by 2%. It is 0.2040. So expenditure will be $0.2040 million, and what you'll be getting in your hand is a $10 million which was required. To finance this project, it proposes to issue global depository receipts. That's all right. Now please understand it as global depository receipts. So even if the requirement is of dollar, they are not issued in USA. They are issued outside USA. As a financial consultant, you are required to compute the number of GDR to be issued and cost of GDR. This will be difficult. Cost of GDR. Number of GDR to be issued I can find out with the help of following additional information. Expected market price of the share at the time of issue of GDR is 250 and face value being rupees 100. Is it alright? Let me talk about shares. These are shares. What is the face value? 100. What is the market price? 250. Face value is 100, market price is 250. This is what is given. Two shares shall underlay each GDR and shall be priced at 4% discount to market price. See, this is share. Huh? Let me draft GDR. This is my GDR. Global Depository Receipt. Start. 1 GDR is equal to 2 shares. Sorry, it is written 2 shares share underlay is GDR and shall be priced at 4% discount to market price. So what will be price of this GDR? Please try to understand. We are finding out the price of this GDR. It will be market price. What is the market price of 2 shares? 2 multiplied by 250. That is 500 rupees. But it is not valued at market price. It is issued at discount on market price. Minus a 4% discount. Sorry. 5 4s are 20 and this will be 480 rupees. Each GDR is valued at 480 rupees. Is it alright? GDR are never valued in rupees. I'll convert it into dollars. But wait a while. Right now, the valuation of GDR is rupees 480. Expected exchange rate is rupees 64 per dollar. Is it alright? Let me find out a GDR rate in terms of dollars. GDR rate in terms of dollar. 480 rupees. Let me use the space. 480 rupees multiplied by, does it 64? 64 is rupees per dollar. See, whenever you will write down full quotation, you will understand this too cannot get cancelled. I am writing something incorrect. I don't want to convert dollar into rupees. I want to convert rupees into dollars. So what I should do to convert this rupees into dollar? I need a rate of dollar per rupees. But sir, 64 is rupees per dollar. Very easy. Just form an indirect quote. 1 divided by 64 is nothing but dollar per rupees. You can use this rate because this is dollar per rupees. 1 divided by 64. Rate will be 480 divided by 64. It is $7.5. What is value of this GDR in terms of rupees? 480. Which is equal to $7.5. So 1 GDR will give you $7.5. We have already deducted discount. So once again, you should not deduct the discount. Sorry. This is nothing but GDR whereby you will borrow, 1 GDR will borrow you $7.5, which is equivalent to 480 rupees. Alright. What is your borrowing requirement is $10.2040 million. That's not right. Borrowing requirement is a $10.2040 million. But in terms of rupees, what is your requirement? That's not right. I don't think I need to find out in terms of rupees. Is it alright? Because my requirement is in dollar itself. Is it alright? My requirement is $10.2040 million. 1 GDR is equal to $7.5. Is it alright? How many GDR is to be issued? Divided by $7.5. Is it alright? This is nothing but number of GDR to be issued. 10.2040 divided by 7.5. It is million. Million is 10 lakhs. It is a 13,60,533. 13,60,533 GDR is to be issued to borrow 10.2040 million dollar. Sir, why I am not converting borrowing into rupees? Just because my requirement is in dollar. Installing machinery plant at USA. For this proposed project, it requires funds of $10 million. Install it. This is nothing but number of GDR to be issued. Install it. This is my first question. Compute the number of GDR to be issued. Number 2. What is the cost of GDR? For that, I'll have to go ahead. Dividend expected to be paid is 15% and the growth rate is 12%. Why I told you this is difficult, try to understand what is first a dividend which will be payable. Dividend is 15%. Whenever nothing is written, it is on face value. Face value is rupees 100. So it will be rupees 15 per share or rupees 30 per GDR. So those who are having 1 GDR will be getting 30 rupees as dividend because 1 GDR is equal to 2 shares. And those who are having 1 share will be getting 15. So in India, people will be getting 15 rupees per share. Outside India, people would be getting 30 rupees per GDR. Yes, can you convert this into rupees terms? The answer is yes. Dollar terms, the answer is yes. What is the growth rate? Growth rate is 12%. Now, why I termed you that it is somewhat typical? Because this chapter is included not in CA final but is included in intermediate level, which is nothing but cost of equity, cost of capital. Cost of equity, I'll tell you, when the dividend is given and growth model is given, can be found out by following methods. It is a cost of equity is equal to D1 upon borrowing multiplied by plus G. This is a growth model. You can go to some of the videos of cost of capital. You will find out cost of equity, dividend with growth model. How you can find out cost of equity? Dividend without growth model, dividend with growth model, earnings with growth model, earnings without growth model, CAPM model. Also there is one more approach, dividend yield approach. I am not going into detail of how to find out cost of capital. So D1 I know is 30 rupees. Start it. 1 GDR will give me how many rupees? What will be my borrowings? I want a net of everything. Discount, expenses, everything should be deducted. My question is, see, not what will be my loan amount. My point is how much will be in my hand. If I issue 1 GDR, from 1 GDR, how much rupees will come in my pocket? Can anyone help me out? Sachin.
Sir, it is borrowing less flotation cost.
My question is in rupees. You need to give me answer in rupees. I'll give you some of the data if you want.
Sir, it is 480 minus flotation cost 2%. That is
exactly
480 into 90%. 98%.
You are absolutely correct. It is not rupees 480. Concentrate. GDR is valued at market price. But once GDR is issued, you will be getting 500. No, they are issued at 4% discount, so you will be getting 480. But, it is 2% discount, 4% discount. Just a minute. Whether I would,
Sir, discount is 4%.
Okay, discount is 4%, sorry, and I have calculated it correctly, yes. So, whether I'll be getting 480 rupees? No. From 480 rupees, there is 2% flotation cost. Is it alright? Which I need to bear. Is it alright? So, if total flotation cost into 2% you do, you will be getting total flotation cost. Per GDR flotation cost, if you will do, you will be getting per GDR flotation cost. So, what you will be getting is 480 into 2% is a 9.6. It is 470.4. You can also do 480 multiplied by 98%. You can also do in your calculator 480 minus 2%. You will be getting 470.4. Is it alright? See, what is this? This is a cash inflow which will be coming to company for 1 GDR. Sachin, you are online. You need to tell me why I have not deducted 4% discount which is written in.
Sir, it is already deducted.
It is already deducted in 480. Is it alright? In 480 it is already deducted. Is it alright? So what is my borrowing is 470.4 plus growth rate is 0.12. That is nothing but cost of equity. That is nothing but cost of GDR for the company. Cost of GDR for the company. Is it alright? It is 30 divided by 470.4 plus 0.12 multiplied by 100 is 18.37% or 38%. 18.38% is cost of GDR. This percentage is always per annum. What does this mean? If you borrow 100 rupees from this GDR, every year your cost will be 18.38 rupees from this GDR if you give this dividend with this growth rate. Alright. If your dividend percentage is 15% with every year growth rate of 12%, this is nothing but cost of equity. In this point, I am not going into detail of cost of equity, but if you are facing any problem, you can always tell me. I will be explaining you how to find out cost of equity and what are various approaches of cost of equity. Is it alright? Should I write it down? Is it alright? Cost of equity can be found out by D1 upon P0. P0 is nothing but borrowing. Cost of equity can be found out by D1 upon P0, that is borrowing, plus G. Cost of equity can be found out by earnings approach. If you take earning as your cost, E1 upon P0, this is without growth. KE is equal to E1 upon P0 plus G. This both are earnings approach, this both are dividend approach. CAPM approach, where KE is equal to RF plus beta into RM minus RF. This gives you expected rate of return of equity shareholders, which is nothing but cost to the company. Alright. These are the things which you might have learned at your lower standard as far as cost of equity is concerned. Believe me, this formula of cost of equity is derived from time value of money. We have learned present value of infinite cash flow. Present value of infinite cash flow can be found out by D1 upon rate of interest. Cash flow of first year divided by rate of interest. If you are valuing equity, your rate of interest should nothing but be cost of equity or required rate of return of equity shareholders. If you just turn it around, this is nothing but KE is equal to D1 upon P0. With growth also, you can take a present value of infinite cash flow with growth model of time value of money. Sorry. But this is nothing but how cost of equity is found out. But it is asked in examination, you need to find out cost of equity in this particular question. ADR, GDR should be absolutely clear.